What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. The world tour is beginning here with Saint J. Garcia Saturn, and we're going to be taking on Revolutionary Army number 2. I actually recorded this on the live stream after I pulled him. This was the first piece of content that I ran with Saint J. Garcia Saturn as the captain. Now, man, we talked about it a little bit in the Kizuna video, but this guy, he is really rough to use. But the thing is when you get it to work, oh man, this guy feels so good. But he does have some flaws, but I do feel like these flaws will be fixed once we get more representation and more units for his tags, for 5 Elders, for Celestial Dragons, for even more Navy units, to be honest. More Navy units would be really nice to use with this guy. Because remember that with the way that he works, in order for you to actually get his special ability to work where you get the auto healing, and the auto healing is pretty important, or the over healing should I say, because in order to get his EX super, you need to have an attack boost that is a value of 8x or more, or you have over healing buff activated. You can get the over healing buff via his special, but the special ability will only give you the over healing buff if you have 4 or more 5 Elder, Celestials, or Navies on the team. And of course, Saturn already fulfills that condition, but then you have to have 2 other units on your crew that are likely only Navy, because at this current point in time, we have no other 5 Elder tag characters, and we have the Celestial Dragons, which at the moment is just those really terrible story mode units. So you kind of relegated into using these Navy characters, and it's not only that, but you need to have Navy characters that are also trying to work with Saturn, so Navy units that are either Int, or Driven, or Striker, and there just are not a lot of good ones, unfortunately. So it just makes him a little bit tricky to use in content where there's a ton of gimmicks to deal with. So let's talk about exactly what this team is doing. So the way that this team is working is we have Rayleigh on the team. Rayleigh is just amazing for Revolutionary Army number 2, being able to deal with the Bind, the Despair. He also deals with Paralysis. He also gives you an orb boosting effect. That's with level limit break 5, of course. And then Rayleigh has that crewmate ability where every time another character uses their special ability, Rayleigh gives himself 2 turns of cooldown. Naturally, as the 12 turns of cooldown, I don't know what it is with the expansion. I think it might go down to 10, maybe? So he can get his special back relatively quickly. If you're talking about using his special on an earlier stage, you got all these preemptive attacks, turns passing, using some specials can give him some cooldown. You can get Rayleigh to launch very often. So using him on the Ivankov stage, and then eventually needing him again on the stage with Lindbergh, because there's more paralysis and bind on that stage. Now this stage was really annoying to me, because I was trying to figure out a way to not only deal with the gimmicks that occur against Morley on the stage after this, but also dealing with these badly matching slots. So by using this Big Mom, who is an int character, I think this character is not driven, which is annoying, because the fact that this Big Mom is not driven means that we cannot get the Rush Sugo special to activate when we reach the final stage. So that was a little frustrating, but Big Mom is really good because it gives us the end of turn damage buff and gives us the full board of Semler slots, and she treats them as beneficial, so just avoiding those badly matching slots that Sabo and Koala would normally give. I did overlook the effect that would occur if you activated orb boosting special on this stage. They actually remove the orb boost. Luckily, they don't remove all beneficial effects, otherwise this team wouldn't work. The main reason why we wanted to use this Big Mom is because obviously the Semler slots, but the other effect that you get from Big Mom is that at the end of each turn, it does a bit of damage, and then every time you enter a new stage, it does damage to the opponent again. So this allows us to get around the enemy resilience buff on this stage. Initially, when I was building the team for this, I wanted to use the Bluegrass Rare Recruit, the one that came out with Saturn alongside Vice Admiral Dole, because that unit does end of turn damage. It removes increased defense, I believe. So it literally almost deals with everything on this stage and gives you a full board of tandem slots. Like, it's a really good character. The issue is you still have to deal with the damage threshold on this stage. So by using Saturn here, that's going to give us the ability to give us a massive attack boost, of course, and it gets us access to the EX Super, which we will need on the turn following this. So then with this, we have the attack boost. We are removing all of the defensive effects via the... I can't remember exactly how we got rid of the defensive effects. Oh, right, that was exactly right. We also are using the Perispera support on Big Mom, which removes the defense and the damage threshold whenever the enemy inflicts it, so literally perfect scenario here. And this is why we bring Vice Admiral Dole, is because she has the special ability to remove paralysis by 3 turns, and then we have the EX Super of Saturn to remove the attack down. Now, one thing that I did actually kind of intelligently, like it was like a side thought that I had during the middle of my attack animation during this turn, is that when we reach the next stage against Lindbergh, Lindbergh changes all of our slots into badly matching. So what I end up doing is I actually save one of the similar slots on Saint J. Garcia Saturn, so that when we eventually move into the final stage, or into the stage against Lindbergh, we will still contain that similar slot. So we do not attack with that similar slot, because we want to have at least a matching slot against Lindbergh there. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to kill him in one turn. And that's another issue that Saturn kind of has, is he doesn't have any slot manipulation. So, like, the real role of Saturn is that his captain ability provides you with a really good opportunity to get a massive attack boost. And then his special ability, of course, grants that massive attack boost. It can amplify orb boosts that may be present on your team. And then it also has the ability to provide a territory for your driven units. And that's kind of one thing that I was kind of side thinking about this, is he has a territory for driven. I think it would be really, really interesting if we had a character that would release that was somewhat similar to Zora and Sanji, but instead of changing all characters to / a free spirit, it has an ability to make all characters driven class for 3 turns, to make full use of that driven territory that Saturn actually provides. I think that would be really, really cool. Unfortunately, we do not have a character such as that, but, you know, it is what it is. It's just that the territory only really gets major benefits when you have more driven characters on your team. This stage here against Karasu is very frustrating. A lot of teams that I see against this Karasu stage typically will just stall 2 turns, get rid of the despair, get rid of the damage threshold, and then kill from that point onwards, which is exactly what we do. And then from that point, when we reach the final stage, we're able to activate a couple of specials and go absolutely crazy. I did overlook the fact that I didn't actually realize Big Mom was going to be ready when we reach the final stage, which is kind of wild. So we do run the Halloween lore support attached to Saint J. Garcia Saturn. My ideology was thinking, like, you know, if we reach the final stage, all we really need to do is get rid of the block slots, which we do with X Drake, and then we could use the special ability of Saturn to get an orb boost from him. But, I mean, the fact that Big Mom was ready, giving us similar slots, I think is much cooler than just getting the quick slots there from X Drake. So either way, on this stage here, we now have the Despair gone, the damage threshold is gone, we can activate our Drake special ability, and then we could pretty much just get the easy dub. I think I do use the EX Super just to give me a little bit of additional damage. We have the resistance down from Vice Admiral Dole, we get that further 50% driven buff from the EX Super there. And then we reach the final stage, we activate the rest of our specials, and we absolutely mollywop this content. So it's very, very difficult to build with Saturn, but he is so much fun to use. He can do so much damage, and I just think that he has so much potential moving forward. And look, even in this content and the Kizuna content that we uploaded prior to this video, we haven't even had an opportunity to showcase his Rush Sugo special yet. And he does have the potential to be super effective against all types. It's just that there's not enough characters that can really get him to that point. So I think that once we get a little bit deeper on, maybe in a few months' time, this guy's going to be pretty substantial. That's going to wrap it up for me, though. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.